You're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show.
The view from our side of the cockpit door.
WAPG. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Airline Pilot Guy, episode 687.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy.
Hello, you're listening to the Airline Pilot Guy Show, the view from our side of the cockpit door, with your host, Captain Jeff, broadcasting live from APG headquarters in Roswell, Georgia. Today's show is recorded the week of December 1st, 2025.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the Airline Pilot Guy. With your light and he's flying by. With the Airline Pilot Guy.
In today's episode, many Airbus A320s are grounded because of concern about a software update. And authorities in New Zealand arrest 20 baggage handlers suspected of drug trafficking. Also ahead, more news and your feedback. So get all settled in. Tray tables and seat backs in the upright and lock positions. Electronic devices powered on. I'm Radio Roger, and Flight 687 is ready for pushback.
Thank you, Radio Roger. He's an award-winning TV and radio reporter, currently at the number one all-news station in the nation, 1010 Wins on 92.3 FM in
New York City.
Welcome to the Airline Pilot Guy Show. It's an aviation podcast covering the latest in aviation news and answering your great feedback. I'm Captain Jeff, former U.S. Air Force pilot and retired Delta Airlines captain. And joining me from his Garden View studio,
in Hartford, Hereford, and Hampshire,
retired professional dog shooter, former RAAF fighter pilot, unemployed Airbus A330, A340, ex-senior captain for Virgin Over-the-Pond Airways. It's Captain Nick.
Oh, hi there, Jeff. Lovely to be back on the show again. Now, this show, 687, I'm going to take you back to the 26th of April, 1915, when Second Lieutenant William Bernard Rose Morehouse, so a well-hyphenated name, flew a Royal Aircraft Factory BE-2A, number 687, hence the link, in a bombing attack of the Courtrai railway station in Cambrai, North France. He dropped his 112, that's 45 kilogram bomb from very low level to ensure accuracy, but was badly wounded by rifle fire and his aircraft damaged from bomb splinters. Despite his wounds, he made the 35-mile flight, which took him 40 minutes, back to his airfield. But very sadly, the next day he died of his wounds, having first reported the success of his mission. Now, the remarkable thing about this, not only have we got an aircraft with the number of our show, this was the very first time that someone was given or awarded the Victoria Cross for an aerial action. So it was a first in Great Britain. And he was, of course, awarded it posthumously because, very sadly, he died. But you can see a replica of his aircraft flying in the Shuttleworth collection. And also they have one at the Royal Aircraft Museum, the RAF Museum. So the BE-2 was a pretty early biplane. It was, came out towards the beginning of the war, so it's a bit wooden wonder, string and canvas, but it was a war machine nevertheless.
How about that? So that was kind of a bittersweet one. It was quite an accomplishment, and then he died. So.
Yeah, sadly. Yeah, very sadly.
Oh, well.
Very heroic.
Thank you very much for that. And also joining us from her studio in Toronto, Ontario, Canada, retired financier and aviation enthusiast, spreadsheet master, and our producer. It's the lovely Liz Piper.
Hello, everybody. Very cold, blustery, snowy day here in Toronto. So it's indoors and cozy with you guys.
Well, I hope you're all nice and comfy inside your condo.
I am. It's all lovely here. Well, you boys have a good show. Now, everybody, we're expecting both Steph and AJ to join at some point. So these guys aren't on their own. It'll be a good thing. Steph will join in.
Thank the Lord for that.
Yep.
Exactly.
All right, just hang in there. It'll get better. All
Cheers, Liz.
Let's do some news.
Stand by for news.
All right, we're going to start off with this from the Aviation Herald, avherald.com. This involves an accident, a JetBlue A320-200, registration November 605JB, JetBlue, performing flight Bravo 6 1230, let's just say 1230, from Cancun, Mexico, to Newark, New Jersey. They were en route at flight level 350, about 70 nautical miles west-southwest of Tampa, Florida, when the aircraft experienced an in-flight upset causing injuries to a number of people. The aircraft descended rapidly, briefly maintained about 20,000 feet, continued the descent for an approach to Tampa. The crew reported that they had flight control problems that caused at least 3 injuries, head injuries, on board. The aircraft landed on Tampa's runway 01 left about 20 minutes after leaving flight level 350. Now, I have to mention here, I was looking at or watching the VAS Aviation video on this incident that occurred back, the end of October, I believe? October 30th. And I thought, I was looking at the readout of the altitude and everything else, and I didn't see any of the stuff that they're talking about here, except that toward the end of the video, when they were conversing, having radio communications with the Tampa TRACON, they said, so you're declaring an emergency or a medical emergency? And they said, yeah, we have a flight control problem issue that caused a medical emergency. But there wasn't really much to it at that time, so that's why I didn't include it in our news at that point. But now I'm thinking about it, going, oh, okay, I remember this. There is a VAS Aviation video out there, so we'll try to remember to include that in the show notes. Wow.
Yeah, I think it was also prompted by the fact that Airbus very quickly introduced an emergency airworthiness directive. They thought, well, there is a possibility that something worse could happen, so we're going to issue this airworthiness directive, and very quickly they were on the case with an update to the software of one of the computers on board.
So what happened here, Captain Nick? I'm confused.
Well,
there was something about the sun was shining that day or something, and
that's what I heard. You see, because there's a lot of rather bland information about it. But I was very lucky. Was it only last night? Yeah, to be at a dinner at the Royal Aeronautical Society, and I was sitting beside a couple of engineers, one of whom had some quite detailed information about this. And he sat down and over a beer, he explained to me what the issue was. So the ELAC is not a computer I'm familiar with, because my A340 and the A330 don't have an ELAC. They have the equivalent would be one of the secondary computers, which performs a function that the ELAC does, which stands for Elevator
Aileron Computer.
Aileron Computer, yeah, that's it. I was trying to work out what the L was.
Yeah, I was thinking, I'm looking right at the paragraph that says what it is, so I'm thinking, okay,
excellent.
I can help.
Thanks for that.
That's the only help I can give you with an Airbus, though. I'm sorry.
No, that's all right.
I did not fly them.
So the ELAC actually sends the commands interprets what the stick does, and then fires the commands down to the flight controls that then move them. And what the computer did was send an uncommanded pitch down command, which of course this issue. Now it's interesting. We have computers everywhere, and so every kind of computer has the potential to suffer from this kind of an issue. Now, flying around through space are particles, which they're neutrons in particular, which can do what they call a bit flip inside a computer. Now, you know that computers are basically a whole bunch of little switches, which register zeros and ones. And if you have get a bit flip, then a 0 or a 1 is turned into the opposite signal. So 0 becomes a 1, 1 becomes a 0. And it's very little you can actually do to stop it, because, electronics are tiny now and very low voltages, and these particles can't be shielded against after they go halfway through the earth. They're very hard to stop. So you don't even try to stop them. What you do is, within your software, you do bit checks. So you have a routine running that looks for unexpected and inappropriate bit flips and corrects them, which is absolutely fine. And just about every computer piece of software, I suspect, certainly in aircraft, will have a routine like this running and checking all the time to make sure all the bits are correct for what is happening. Now, an update was introduced to the ELAC on the 320s, which sadly it appears that checking algorithm, that checking routine that would normally be accompanied with the software, they neglected to put it in. So the software went in, it all worked. But of course, now this piece of software had the potential to suffer from a bit flip, which would go uncorrected. And that's exactly what happened, I think.
Okay.
So that's, yeah.
So that sounds like it's more nuts. The whole headline and the emergency directive and everything else all kind of almost made it sound like it was this just out of the blue, like extremely high solar flare radiation or cosmic radiation or whatever else. But really, it's about the fact that there was a software update that kind of didn't work as well as they had hoped it would, right? Well,
that's one point of view, but okay. I think the chances of a bit flip are much increased when you get periods of high solar radiation, because there's a lot more of these particles flying around.
Well, all you have to do, though, I found, is if you just hook up one of these things that we're showing in the video, we'll have in the show notes. If you hook up one of these things, then you never have to worry about that bit flip happening. Apparently,
well,
right?
exactly, because that's the bit of kit that they use to update the software.
Oh, no, you spoiled it. No, you have to fly around like with one of these things attached to keep from all that stuff from happening.
Oh, I didn't realize. Oh,
yeah,
right.
yeah.
Okay.
It kind of gets in the way of you seeing from your seat all the instruments, but
you won't have a bit flip.
You won't have a bit flip.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay, I'm sorry. I was interrupting your flow.
No, not at all. Not at all. I think that was very amusing. Not all the Airbuses can.
Sure you did. Yeah.
Not all the Airbuses are equipped to accept that piece of equipment. Some of them have still got floppy drives, In fact, my old A340 used to have floppy drives to update software and things.
It happens when you're a little bit older. Yeah.
Yeah, indeed. Although they're 3 1/4-inch floppy drives, which there are people listening who probably won't have a clue what I'm talking about, was always quite stiff, I found. I don't know. It was the bigger floppy drives that were actually floppy. But,
where's Steffi when we need her?
Where's Steffi when you need her? Okay, so they I have to say, Airbus were right on the case. They very quickly worked out what had happened, and within a matter of hours, they had the update in circulation. Now, obviously, aircraft were grounded, and so it did disrupt, airlines' ability to fly their aircraft, and that was obviously a big shame. But I take my hat off to Airbus for getting a grip of this very quickly and issuing the directive, which was, obviously had quite an effect on all their customers, and then got the new software in. There are some aircraft that will take longer to have the new software put in because they're of an older style, but I think they've got their a handle on it. So hopefully this will put an end to it.
Well, speaking of putting your hands on it, Tanya in our audience says, I remember the 8-inch ones. Wow. Well, I bet you do, Tanya.
I bet you do, Tanya.
Good for you.
That would leave
she
a mark
handled a
in your
few of
memory,
those.
wouldn't it?
On something.
Yeah.
All
I
right.
remember that 8-inch one. I don't remember the 8-inch ones, I must admit.
Okay.
You know what? Somebody's in the green room.
Yeah, I see this gentleman. Well, I use that term very, very
going
loosely.
off the phone.
Very loose.
AJ has joined us in the.
I have arrived.
He has arrived. Hello, sir. Great to have you with us.
Hello.
Hope the traffic wasn't too bad today. No, you're here actually pretty early.
Normal level of bad.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Atlanta.
It was just, it's Dodgems.
Yeah, there are places though around this country that are much, much worse, I'd say.
They're all pretty bad.
Yeah.
Major
At
city.
least you don't have
Yeah.
snow squalls there in Atlanta.
Oh, there you
Yeah.
go. Thank you, Ben.
Yeah, no snow squalls here, Liz, like up in Toronto. Speaking of floppy disks, hello, AJ. Ah, very good. Damn.
One of my bestest friends, can you tell?
Yeah, I can tell. Yeah. All right. You know what? Something I haven't played in a while, and I can't seem to find it. Because
always
it's been
goes well.
Here we go.
That's what she
Chess?
said.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
She said.
So great to have you with us, AJ. And we're only now covering the first news item, and it was about the bit flips and the cosmic radiation and all that jazz. Anyway, so anything else? Very cool that you were able to have that discussion with that engineer, Captain Nick. So
Oh, absolutely. Hot off the press. Because I was a bit like you. I was going, well, how does solar, is the solar radiation heating these computers up, or what's it? And now I've discovered it makes a lot of sense to me.
Well,
Yeah.
so I missed it all. Can you start over?
Yeah,
No.
sure.
You can listen to the.
Oh,
when we
yeah.
publish
Well,
it.
I've got a show you could listen to, and you can find out all
Yeah.
about it.
I was thinking, sometimes you're in the car, and the sun's like really beating in through the windscreen or the windows, whatever, and like really heating up your instrument panel. And I'm thinking, well, that can't be it. No.
And you were right. It wasn't it.
Yeah. Thank you. I was right. It was not it. Okay. Let's see. Let us continue then with this next news item, also from the Aviation Herald. This is a final
It's actually
report.
sort of the next two news items are linked.
Okay, so these next two items are linked together. Okay. This one is dealing with a Virgin Australia Boeing 737-800. They were performing Flight 222 from Adelaide to Melbourne, and they lined up on runway 23 via taxiway Bravo 2 for departure. They taxied to the displaced threshold, runway 23, past the start of takeoff line, something they refer to here as SOT line, and commenced takeoff after receiving the clearance to take off. The captain noticed that they became airborne later than he expected, but assessed that the takeoff had been normal. After departure, the crew recognized they had started their takeoff run at the wrong position. The aircraft continued to Melbourne without further incident. So the Australian Transportation Safety Board released their final report into this and to other similar occurrences, concluding the probable cause of the total of 14 incidents, 11 of them being listed and included, were contributing factors. So a lot of people were kind of falling for the same issue, the same problem. The flight crews of multiple aircraft misidentified the start of runway 23 due to confusing temporary markings and lights. This resulted in several takeoffs commencing from the displaced threshold using performance parameters for a longer runway. Now, Liz is showing a graphic of the runway and the taxiways and how the construction that they were in the midst of, and that's why the different places for landing and taking off, which is displaced from the normal length of the runway. And we're going to go into a little bit more detail here of why, and I understand, I think, now why so many people were confused about this whole thing. Let me get back to the narrative. The Civil Aviation Safety Regulations Part 139 Manual of Standards did not recommend or provide standardized options for movement, area guidance signs, or other visual aids to draw flight crew attention to the start of takeoff position, especially those distant from a displaced threshold and not coincident with a taxiway or runway intersection. So that they said that's an issue, a safety issue. The initial NOTAM released at the start of the runway works used inconsistent terminology for the runway end. They did not refer to the white line marking the start of takeoff position and referred to red runway end lights not visible to pilots departing on runway 23. Now, Liz is showing the NOTAM that was issued. Now, I don't know why they had any trouble understanding this. I mean, this looks so clear to me. And this, by the way, if you're listening and you're going to the actual, hopefully I'll put this on the chapter marker so you can look at this. This is an example of why the NOTAM system needs to be fixed. Okay, so they have a lot
garbage, Jeff?
This is a bunch.
That's
of
what
garbage.
NOTAMs are. They're just a bunch of garbage.
All right. So threshold runway 23 displaced 1,158 meters, which is that's a lot. Refer method of working plan YPAD 25-/03 Amendment 2 runway 23 threshold displaced 1158 meters marked by 5 green lights each side of the runway with RTILS runway 23 end displaced 650 M marked by 3 red lights each side of runway 23 PAPI 3 degree 5/8 foot available runway 23. So you're getting the picture. What? I'm only reading 1/3 of this so far. But I'm looking through here thinking, well, I don't see anywhere in here that, I mean, my brain is not picking up anything about the fact that there's a line, a start of takeoff line, a white line indicating where you're supposed to start your takeoff on runway 23. I don't see that anywhere here in this NOTAM.
Jeff, 1,158 meters is 3,799 feet.
Okay, 3,799 feet is the equivalent in feet to the meter conversion, and that's to the displaced threshold. However, the actual start of takeoff line was about half that distance, about 1,666 feet, I think, or something like that. So
I mean, I found a bit that says displaced threshold identified by 2 rows of 4 white gable markers. Now, what's a gable marker? Yeah. I've never heard of a gable marker.
Yeah.
I mean, my house has got a gable end.
Yeah.
Is that what it is? A great big triangular thing?
Do you have any gable markers in your house?
No.
I always thought gables were green.
Yeah, they are in Prince Edward
green
Island.
gables.
Now that could be cause a lot of confusion.
And people named Anne live there.
Yeah.
Everyone there is named Anne.
So, could you go back to the diagram, Liz? So that NOTAM, again, so what was happening here is, I understand that kind of is identifying the temporary displaced threshold, which is pretty far down. And that's, when you're coming in for landing, that's where you're looking, you're going to touch down past that point. The area that we're looking at kind of in the middle of this picture with the big arrows pointing toward the displaced threshold, that area, because it's painted in white, that is something that we as pilots are supposed to know that it's okay to use that part of the runway. So go a little bit to the right. Yeah, that area right in there, Liz, that you're putting your cursor on right there. All that area right there can be used for the takeoff roll. And that's where they expect you to use all that runway. That's 508 meters, which again is about 1,667 feet. It's a lot of runway that people were kind of not using. So I think in the report they said that some of the pilots were saying, well, they saw these arrows pointing, and they're thinking, oh, the arrows are telling me keep going, just keep going up here to something that looks like a normal thing for us, which is that displaced threshold, which is next to taxiway Delta 1, I believe. And so the problem is that they're basing all their performance data on that. Not that point, but the point way behind them that they've passed quite a while back. So that's why this was a safety issue. Go ahead, Captain Nick.
I was looking at Chuck's comment there. He thinks he can solve it by for $100,000. He says, I can solve this problem. Paint start here on the runway.
That would have been helpful. Yeah, except for at night, you may not have been able to see that. But
that's very true. Yeah, but that's exactly what you need.
You paint it in glow-in-the-dark paint, Jeff.
Oh, okay. That's true. Or just like flashing lights. I mean, hey, we have this technology, LED lighting technology, where you could have these things like spelling out, like this is where you start.
This diagram, it's showing that there are red lights there at the start of takeoff area.
Yeah.
It's also covered up by the arrow, so you can't actually read it like all of the taxiway identifications, but that's...
I think somewhere in here they talked about those lights and the fact that it was very difficult for them to see them for some reason. Let's see. Oh, during the daytime, it was a bright and sunny day. They did not see the start of the red edge lights specified to be visual cues for night and low visibility conditions. I guess that was something they could see at night. But that NOTAM we're talking about, unless they issued a NOTAM with better clarification after this one, it didn't say anything that I can surmise.
The fact that all those crews made the same mistake and taxied forward to the normal touchdown markings, piano keys, etc., just shows to me that, if you get one or two guys, you go, "Whoa, you didn't read the NOTAM very carefully. Do it better." But the fact that all these guys did it, all these crews did it, says, the airport needs to sort themselves out because this is too easy to mistake.
And I think that after several of these instances, I think that they must have gotten a memo in the tower and said, hey, we need to make sure that they understand where they're supposed to start their takeoff. And they were helping with like verbal cues for, helping the crews. Yeah. I think that's what I read.
And if someone said, taxi forward to the SOT.
Yeah. To the what?
The what?
What'd you call me? SOT?
Now, that's some kind of a derogatory term in Britain, isn't it?
It's a drunkard.
Almost certainly. I suspect it.
Now, if you said it here, I don't know if anybody would have taken offense
really?
because we didn't really. I don't know. I've never heard that term used. Have you, AJ?
I've heard it. Yeah. Not used often in America, but I'm familiar with the term.
Yeah.
But I was saying to Jeff that it's interesting. We've had things at Perth Airport, things at Melbourne Airport, now Adelaide Airport. Like they seem to have these issues that they don't really solve very quickly or something.
Australia's falling apart.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a well-known phrase in aviation called KISS. So keep it simple, stupid. It's something you do when you want to make things plain. And the last thing they appear to have done here is make it plain to the pilots who are flying the planes where to take their planes off from. So someone's needs to sharpen up. Come on, guys, use some common sense.
Yeah, the following news item here, which is, again, part of the coverage of this issue at Adelaide with a different aircraft or a different flight. So for one of the reported occurrences, the aerodrome controller did not challenge two incorrect readbacks of displaced threshold instead of displaced runway end, which likely contributed to the flight crew commencing the takeoff from the displaced threshold instead of the start of takeoff position. And I'm thinking, if I hear them say the displaced runway end, I pretty much think that I'm going to do the same thing that all these crews did. I'd go to that displaced threshold because it's just confusing. It's ambiguous in my mind. Yeah.
I mean, in 25 years of civil aviation, let alone before, I'd never heard of the term start of takeoff as an indication where you start your takeoff.
I haven't either.
If you're going to introduce that, and it might well be in a document somewhere that we might have read when we were doing our licenses way back in the distant past. But if you're going to introduce a term and start using it, you've got to make sure that you remind everyone what it means and what it looks like and where it is and how to make sure you don't make a mistake and taxi past it.
Right. There have been a couple of places in my anecdotal experience where there was a place at which you had to wait until you crossed that area before you applied full takeoff power. San Francisco is the place that I'm thinking of there. And then also Houston Hobby Airport, one of the runways, I forget which one now, there is a place where, you're, again, supposed to roll past before you add your full takeoff power. And that's kind of unusual. It's not a normal thing, but everybody is kind of aware of it. And I think they do a pretty good job of explaining that in your local what do you call it? Like instructions for the different airports and that kind of the airport. I forgot what we called those things. We used to call those green pages or whatever.
Directory.
Yeah, directory. Actually, it was actually part of our Jeppesen package for a particular airport. That's kind of specific information for usually the airlines would use for specific information about, where the gates were and other items, but important stuff that wasn't included in the normal Jeppesen published documents. Maybe somebody can help me out in the live audience with what we call those things. Maybe at Delta we called it different things than other.
10.7.
The 10.7 is kind of the standard issue. UH Blackhawk. That's something that everybody that has a Jeppesen subscription would get. But we had something that actually were different colored pages. They weren't white pages. They were, I think, green pages that kind of gave us more pertinent information for our operation, and they usually had some helpful information about things like what we're discussing right now in those pages. So anyway,
Jeff, I'm thinking you would do maybe D and E, like skip
okay,
C.
we're going to skip to D and E. Okay.
As long as we don't F this up.
Yeah,
no,
we don't want
no
to
effing up
anything
today.
else here. Enough of the runway stuff here. Let's talk about this one from simpleflying.com. Let's see. This happened in Atlanta International. Police swarm a KLM Boeing 777 in Atlanta after a passenger triggers an emergency slide. He was arrested by police in Atlanta after causing disruption on a KLM flight as it was preparing to take off for Amsterdam. 47-year-old passenger Johan van Hirtum claimed to have seen another passenger armed with a gun before opening an emergency exit door, triggering the aircraft's emergency slide. The passenger was arrested and transported to jail. And let's see, the authorities are citing it as a mental health incident because no weapon was found on board. KLM was forced to cancel the flight in what will prove a costly incident for the Dutch carrier. Let's see, the concerning incident unfolded in Atlanta on the evening of November 25th, so a couple of weeks ago. First reported by Fox 5, which is a local Atlanta news affiliate. KLM Flight 622 had left the gate. They were taxiing for takeoff when he was heard loudly proclaiming, Van Hirtum, proclaiming that another passenger had a gun. He also reportedly called 911 from inside the aircraft, which is what we have in the U.S. for calling an emergency for the police, telling authorities that he believed another passenger was armed. He was behaving loudly, erratically before he suddenly moved for the emergency exit door and opened it. With the emergency slides armed by the crew before takeoff, one of the slides inflated while the aircraft was still taxiing, forcing the Boeing 777 to return to the gate. Police then boarded the aircraft, took him into custody. Okay, blah, blah, blah. So what did that mean for the passengers of this flight and KLM? Well, for the passengers, it meant that the flight was canceled and they had to be reaccommodated on future flights or the next available flights. Let's see, the cost to replace an emergency slide, anywhere between $35,000 and $75,000. And even the process of repacking an undamaged slide, so if the slide was undamaged, can run into the tens of thousands of dollars. And then, of course, Not to mention the fact that, you have the crew, the air crew costs, hotel costs, most likely for the passengers. And what a mess.
Jeff, I was thinking, remember Captain Ure that you used to meet up with sometimes? Wasn't he a KLM captain coming in there? I wonder if he had any involvement.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm wondering if one of our APG community members with whom I've met up with a couple of times, Captain Kerr, I think.
Ure,
right?
Isn't it Ure?
Ure, that's right. Because I always messed up the pronunciation of his name.
See the one we met in Atlanta, the last Atlanta meetup?
Yeah. At the
I remember him.
Yeah, at the barbecue place up in Alpharetta. Yeah, that's him. I'm wondering if he had anything to do with this. We'll have to, if you're listening, let us know. Well, you know what? He probably, if he did have anything to do with this, he'd probably, well, you know what? It wasn't his fault, so he could probably safely come on and tell us all about this. But maybe he knows the person that was in command at the time of this episode. But just another instance of like people going crazy on us and seeing things that aren't there, and somebody that maybe not completely mentally stable. Not good.
Yep.
All right, so the last item is also an article from simpleflying.com. Let's see, 20 baggage handlers arrested at Auckland airport as part of a massive drug smuggling probe. A joint customs and police operation that was investigating drug smuggling through New Zealand's busiest airport this week has led to 20 baggage handlers being arrested, accused of participating in the smuggling of Class A drugs into the country. This includes the likes of methamphetamine and cocaine in unattended baggage. The Detective Inspector Tom Golan attended a press release that updated the public on the status of Operation Matata, which had been launched earlier this year, continued to investigate the facilitation of large amounts of drugs being smuggled into the country. So I guess what they were doing, let's see, I'm trying to roll down to the place where, the rip-on, rip-off method. The operation to date has already intercepted more than 631 kilograms, 1,391 pounds, and 112 kilograms being seized at the border. The meth alone has a retail value of more than $126 million US dollars.
That's pretty cheap. I love some of that.
That was a big operation.
Cheap Class A
You need to get some cheap drugs.
I bought a bottle of whiskey that cost more than that.
That exchange rate's not very good.
Let's see. So it's believed that the gangs involved utilized the rip-on, rip-off method, which sees unaccompanied baggage added on international inbound flights with compromised baggage handlers at destination airports to retrieve. This technique was reported to have been used on a number of global supply routes that were inbound to Auckland from the likes of Bangkok, Santiago, Honolulu, Los Angeles, San Francisco, and New York City, all cities that have nonstop air links to the country's largest city. So I guess there was some kind of a scheme where they could slap some kind of a bag tag on a piece of luggage that was supposedly like last minute kind of bag thing. And then those bags were probably some of the first that came off the inbound flight, and they take those bags and then they have their drugs inside. So,
see, I thought they were just hiding it in unattended baggage in the terminal. They always say that announcement, don't leave your bags unattended. That's right. This is why. See, people are just going to run up and fill it full of drugs.
There you go. Could be. Yeah. All right.
And then when it's full, you turn around and go home again.
Yep. Thank you.
Hi.
All right.
All right. It's time
Very
to get
good.
to know you guys.
All right. That's enough of news.
Steffi's on her way, by the way. Probably half an
Steph's
hour
on her way.
out. Half an hour.
Okay. So we look forward to that. So, but in the meantime, we're going to start our Getting to Know Us segment by pushing this button. Getting to Know Us. That's the segment of the show where we get to know what has been going on with the people, the panelists on the show at the time, which is right now. Let's see. I'll start first because mine's nice and easy because I did nothing. It's my normal things. I've been singing in a lot of funerals and weddings.
Big party last Sunday.
And I did do something big on Sunday night that we talked about on the last episode. We were talking about the fact that I was going to be attending a very special party over at host Alpha Juliet's place, but I'm going to allow him to talk all about that because he's going to have some pictures and everything else to share with us. But that was a great time. But other than that, I just did my normal singing of masses and editing the show and singing at funerals and weddings, that kind of thing. So that's it for me. Captain Nick, how have you been, sir? What have you been up to?
I've had an interesting week, thank you very much, actually, because, I often go and don't really get up to anything different, but this week has been very pleasant because I have previously mentioned that every few months Captain Al and Pip and Adam, who is our, tame air traffic controller, we all try and get together for a meal. And it really kicked off because Al was doing a lot of flights out of Luton, Luton. It's nowhere near London. It's actually near Luton. But anyway, he was flying from there, and during his layovers at Luton, it wasn't really worth him going home. So he was saying, well, why don't we all get together and we'll have a curry together. And I didn't manage to get to any, but I went to the curry night last month, and then he said, well, we need to have a Christmas one, so I'll organise a Christmas one, except it wasn't a curry night anymore. So our curry night meet up became a Chinese meal instead, and I'll find quite a well-known chain. There's not that many of them outside the States, I think, P.F. Chang's. So there's one in London, and it's a great establishment, and we all met up and had lovely food, and then popped down to the Porcupine pub. And the reason I'm mentioning the pub where we sat is because some ne'er-do-well tried to steal my backpack while I was there. So, here we go. I'm sitting there after many a beer on top of a tall stool at a table, one of those elevated tables, and my bag's on the floor at my feet. And but we're right behind me is the entrance door, and it kept letting some air in, a draft in. And I thought, that's funny, this door keeps swinging open. But I wasn't paying much attention to it, other than the fact that it was causing a bit of a draft. And next thing I know, I got a tap on the shoulder from a very pretty French lady. Now, French ladies often come up to me. It's just one of those things. Standard. We're pilots. Yeah. We're all used to it.
It's standard.
Very pretty ladies. They don't have to be French. They can be all sorts of nationality. But tapped me on the shoulder and said, she didn't actually say what I expected.
Excusez-moi, monsieur.
Your handsome menu. I want to make love to you.
Ravish you right here.
She said,
I find you so attractive. And by the way, somebody's trying to steal your bag.
That bloke's trying to steal your bag. And I looked around going, what bloke? And I suddenly realised that there was this ne'er-do-well was lying on the ground outside the pub, which a bit of a alleyway leading up to the door, in this alleyway, and he was pushing the door open and trying to reach in while he was lying on the ground and drag my bag out of the crack in the door. So we all went, oh. Anyway, we got him in, and he went, oh, nothing to do with me. He looked pretty much like, a street dweller, so we weren't too mean, but I hadn't seen him actually do it, so and I didn't really want to. I checked the bag. Everything was still there. So
was it like anything in the bag that was important or expensive?
Well, yes, because I had bought some audio-visual gear to film us in the restaurant, which I'm about to show you.
Oh.
And he would have had all that. He would have made away with my 32-bit float recorder, my H6, which is my darling recorder, my two very expensive Shure microphones, and my gimbal thing. And anyway, so I'm very glad he didn't pinch it. Because it would have been sad and I wouldn't have been able to show you this video, which I'm now going to, if that's all right.
Okay. Yes, please.
Excellent. I clicked that. We are here in a very fine restaurant in London, and I have gathered with me today a magnificent set of aviators, and they're also Rands from all walks of life. And we're having a pint of beer or two, as one does, and a meal. And I'm now going to ask one of our more recalcitrant contributors to say a few words. Hang on a minute. Adam, it's lovely to see you again.
Hello, hi Nick.
How the devil are you, and what is happening?
I'm very well, thank you.
In the Heathrow. By the way, I just remind you, this microphone is a top feeder.
Okay.
That's
that
the
better?
way.
Okay.
Thank you very much
Yes.
indeed. We haven't chatted to you for ages.
No,
You've
it's been quite a while, hasn't it?
Yeah, indeed.
Yes.
So what's been going on in your life, old chap?
Same old, really.
Oh,
Keeping
come
busy
on.
at work.
Must be more exciting than that.
I think we're about to get busy in the office,
Yeah?
given recent announcements.
Oh, more beer.
Yeah, with the.
Thank you. Keep talking.
That's all right. but the main reason I'm here is I hear there's a new episode of the Plane Safety Podcast coming out soon.
Nah, that'll never happen.
What?
Surely.
That's a rumor that I've heard.
Really?
So yeah.
Oh, you've been
was a
keeping your
promise.
ear to the railway lines. Watch out for the oncoming trains. All right, okay, well, when it happens, we will believe it. But seriously, in your world of air traffic, any new innovations have been happening lately?
So yeah, we introduced earlier this year. We introduced the new iteration of our sort of arrival separation system called Pairwise.
Oh, that's interesting. How does that vary from the one that I would have been familiar with?
So we went to time-based separation.
Yeah.
Probably just over 10 years ago.
Yeah, remember that.
Which reduced the separation in a headwind.
Very successfully.
Yeah. And then we went to something called enhanced time-based separation.
Okay.
Which recategorized the aircraft weight categories to make it more efficient. And now we've moved to something called Pairwise, which gets rid of categories altogether.
Is that when it all goes pear-shaped?
Thankfully not. But it basically refers to the fact that we now separate aircraft based on the aircraft types rather than categories. So you can be more granular with the separations, being more efficient. And we take into account runway occupancy times as well. So we add on a bit behind Air France, for example.
So that means different airlines and different types.
Yes.
You calculate their runway occupancy.
We do. Yes.
Well, go on, spill the beans. Who is the worst about getting off the runway in time?
I'm being honest here. BizJets.
Oh.
They don't want to spill the champagne, you see, down the back and make the very VVIPs,
yes,
upset.
Of course. Yeah, fair enough. BizJet being a very genetic. It wasn't whiz. You said there. You said biz. Oh,
yes,
don't worry.
jets.
We're getting more food, longer runways, bigger women, and all that involves. Excellent. Well, look, I tell you what, it's lovely to see you again.
And you, Nick. Yes.
You're at RIAT again this year?
I will be at RIAT this year, yes.
Oh, well, I'm sure everyone will be delighted to see with you. Those who know of you and can watch you climbing out of the tower during your breaks and say hello. It'll be fantastic.
Yeah.
Anything else for us?
No, I don't think so. Just pass on my regards to everybody, and Jeff and Liz and Steph, etc.
That is very welcome. Thank you very much.
Hope to see everybody soon.
Handing it over to your bestest friend, Pipperoony.
I'm even going to hold the mic for him.
Pipperoony.
Stop.
Well, we did have a nice drink there. We kind of mentioned that cables cause upsets.
Spill.
Yeah.
You can't take him anywhere.
Be a professional. Talk through it. Anything new, old chap, since we last saw you?
Hi, mate.
A few weeks ago?
No, I mean, I've managed to go now, gosh, it must be about a year without having to see this guy. So that streak's been broken, unfortunately.
But you're sat next together. Who organised the seating plan?
We love each other, really. No change since I saw you a couple of weeks ago, Nick.
Well, that's great. Merry Christmas to you.
And to you and to everyone at the APG.
That's very appreciated.
Thanks,
now,
mate.
in the corner, scoffing away, is Captain Al.
I'm eating. Do not disturb, please.
Oh, come on, Al. Be a good chap now.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you happen to be. And Merry Christmas, not least.
Thank you very much indeed. Is that all?
That is all. I'm eating.
Fair enough. Got food in front of Captain Al. He's got a single-minded approach to it. Nothing else for us?
I'm afraid not. No, I'm eating.
Pass it on, old chap.
This is riveting.
Yes, well, I'd like to say I'm surrounded by aviation professionals.
Is that what you call them?
But that's probably pushing it slightly. Anyway, hope everybody's well in the land of APG. Very nice Chinese food here. Thanks, Al, for organising. Very, very, very tasty food indeed. And hope everyone has a nice Christmas for those who celebrate. And look forward to seeing you all again soon, somewhere.
We will, and thank you, Dave. Will you kindly hand it back to the studio?
I will, yes. And back to you, Jeff, in the studio.
Thank you, Sir Nev. Oh, wow. That was awesome. It's so nice to see all of them. And I couldn't even tell you guys had been drinking.
No, you never know.
I must admit, when we recorded it, I thought it sounded fine, but in retrospect,
everything always does.
I put the sober filter on, but it didn't seem to have much effect.
You had to turn the gain up a little bit.
That could have been the problem. So what else did I do? We had that meet-up, and then last night I was at I already mentioned, the Royal Aeronautical Society for the R.K. Pearson Memorial Lecture, which is a special annual Christmas lecture that the Weybridge branch, which is one of the oldest branches of the Royal Aeronautical Society, and because I have been a speaker at their evenings a number of times now, they kindly sent me an interview an invitation is the word I'm looking for, so to come and join them and listen to a very full lecture from a fine gentleman, Padraig Callagher, about the future of aviation regulation around the world and in the UK in particular. And he spent a while talking about how drones can be integrated and then about other types of problems that we are going to face in the future with the expansion of passenger and other users of the air, and balloons mixing it with airliners, and how we're going to have airspace sorted out, etc. How we're going to save the atmosphere from too much pollution. It was an all-encompassing but very interesting lecture, and that was thanks very much indeed.
What was his take on it? Positive or?
Very positive actually.
Okay.
He seemed very confident that they were going to be, certainly the CAA were going to be able to deal with all the future's issues. In fact, we have expanded the CAA, almost doubled it in size, so that there are departments there specifically to cope with all the oncoming variations that will happen, the increase in technology, new technologies, and all the users that want to use our radio frequencies, all this whole variety of factors that affect us and how we want to try and drive to carbon neutral. So we need new fuels, how we're going to keep those, how the airport's going to cope with having perhaps 4 different types of fuel, hydrogen mixed with A1 and A1, and then you've got all the additional fuels you can mix with A1, these, I can't remember the...
Sounds dangerous to me.
Now. Yeah, well,
mixing all those together.
The chip fat that you can stick in your jet fuel. No. Anyway, it was interesting, very, very interesting. So, good evening, had there, and that really has been my evening. Now, I could blast on with the art before AJ gets his bit, if you want. Okay, let's do it.
Go for it.
So we had one of the weirdest title suggestions I think I've ever can remember. So some of them were quite simple, public address system, a lightologist, shortened tutu. I almost wish I'd done that one now, but flaming hot funyuns and Dakota floats. But the one that I was intrigued by was my sister is a bassoon. And apparently it refers to Nick's sister, not me. I don't have a sister, but Nick's sister. And apparently she is a bassoon.
That's what he said.
Yes, I know. And I was going, well, that's interesting. Anyway, the artwork reflects the fact that his sister's a bassoon, or I haven't actually managed to turn her into a bassoon. But... also, we've got rather than a passenger address system, we've got an aircraft flying behind which, with a public address system. So I imagine that as a loudspeaker, which blasts out. And of course, there's Nick's. It's not Betty's Biscuit bomber, but it's, I guess, a DC-3 with a
it looks like
loudspeaker.
And it seems to me that large public address speaker thing would be quite a bit of aerodynamic drag.
Possibly.
No, see, it's the Venturi effect, Jeff, so it actually adds thrust. Yeah.
There you go. You see, that's assuming it's got a hole in the back. I'm not quite sure whether it has or not. But yes, I happen to agree, but there you go.
The other thing I was going to say about this is that I know what bassoons look like, and AI did a pretty good job with it, but I'm thinking like the mouthpiece for the bassoon is like I don't think that's exactly what.
Actually, the mouthpiece is partly covered up by the word bassoon. It's actually there.
Okay. Down
because it's a little
lower.
pipe that comes out about just short of the end, isn't it?
Sure.
Yes.
Is that the bassoon they played in the Ricola commercials?
Ricola.
Yes, that's what
I don't know much
like.
about bassoons. However, I did manage to secrete the normal things in there. Now, the number 686, I thought I did a pretty good job of hiding that. Now, did anyone manage to spot it?
No.
I found it.
It's in here somewhere.
You know where?
Yes, it is in there somewhere. It's almost the last 3 keys on the bottom. I've made a 6... that's a 6, and then there's an 8 in there, and then another 6. There you go.
Very good.
6, 8,
That looks
6.
like Bob to me.
Yeah, it's Bob.
Anyway.
Yeah, well, it would be, because that's what 686 looked like.
Okay.
And sticking his head out of, you're going to go back.
Oh, yeah, what about the... Okay.
Oh, sorry.
Sticking his head out the end of the bassoon is the jackass, because that's a classic place for a jackass.
That's like a mute on the thing. He's like...
I don't know. I've never heard the jackass speak, but perhaps he's mute. I don't know.
I don't think that's what she means, but
okay.
Yeah, I think I deliberately misunderstood there.
Jeff understands trumpet.
Good. I like it.
But we found the logo, didn't we, in the middle of the loudspeaker.
Yeah, that was easy.
So that was
She's
nice
very
and easy,
beautiful,
so
Nick. She's a beautiful
Nick's a handsome chap. He would have a beautiful sister, wouldn't he?
Yeah, he would. That's true.
Excellent. So that's me done and dusted, sir.
Very good.
Wow. Very
Thank
nice.
you.
I love the artwork, as usual.
Love it.
Thank you, sir.
Yep.
Cheers.
Appreciate that.
Well,
all right.
it's
So
time
now...
for AJ.
AJ, Alpha Juliet. I was kind of hinting and teasing the wonderful party that you do, I guess now 10 years? Was this the 10th anniversary of the
annual
Friendsgiving party over at your place? And wow, what a great time that was. And I just have to say, before he starts talking, the food was amazing, especially the meat. Oh, so good. So good.
All 45 pounds of it.
Wow. I think I had about 30 of it, 30 pounds. Yeah. The next couple of days were kind of tough for me, but okay, go ahead, Paige.
It was a great time. I need to reconsider my. I generally copy the Acme passenger plan. You know how they sell seats for their airliners and they oversell. It's usually what I do with invites for the party. And the problem with this particular year was everyone actually showed up. So I had a lot of people in my house, more than I expected. More than one person. Yeah, more than one person came up to me and said, "Have you considered getting an event space?" It's like, I didn't think it was that tight, but it was a lot of people. But it was a great time. Obviously did a little cooking. You have to have a turkey. It's Thanksgiving. So did a traditional roast turkey. We did, that's it all sliced up there. Did the duck confit appetizer. So that actually came out really good. I was very happy with that. But a little duck fat crostini, cranberry coulis, some duck confit shredded on top, and then a little melted brie on top of that. And those did not last very long. And then did a 11-pound pork shoulder or pork butt, or some pulled pork. And then I didn't get a good picture of the pork belly burnt ends, but did another.
Oh my God, that was the best thing.
That's a nice looking butt. Now that's a beautiful butt.
Thanks, Liz.
I've seen a few.
Yeah, it turned out really well. There was a minor emergency, as there is every time I do a really long cook. It ended up being about a 21 hour cook on that pork shoulder. Wow. But right as soon as I finally decided to lay down and take a nap at about 2 a.m. on Sunday morning, I started cooking around 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon. And about 2 a.m., the smoker, the pellets bridged, which means they basically froze in the hopper and it emptied out the center, and the smoker went cold.
Oh, no.
For the hour and a half I was asleep, nothing was getting cooked. And I woke up and I looked at my little, I've got a app for my thermometer on my phone, and I looked at it and I'm like, oh, that's about 100 degrees colder than it's supposed to be. Oh, God.
That's not good.
So it's a minor panic, but we got it back up and running and finished it off. It actually came out really, really nice. I was very happy. So no issues there.
Well, other than that issue.
That'll teach you for sleeping in the nighttime.
That's what I get for sleeping. That's exactly right, Liz. I brought that on myself for sure. Other than that, I got to do a little flying yesterday, which was actually really a lot of fun. Ended up getting to do a little formation flight through the Atlanta Class Bravo, which was kind of cool. So we got some...
That's amazing. That aircraft looks like it's only just cleared the top of the building.
Doesn't it? And we're at 4,000 feet. I mean, that is a tall building, but it's only about 1,200 feet tall. Wow. We're 3,000 feet above the building, but the way the picture came out just worked out really, really cool. That was a lot of fun. And I'm in the airplane taking the photograph. In that airplane was another one of our club members and one of our maintenance volunteers that he had his 10-year-old granddaughter with him for her very first flight. So on her very first flight, she got to formation fly over Hartsfield. It's all downhill for her from there.
May I point out a couple of landmarks here in this photo that we're looking at of this beautiful airplane? Okay, so right behind the airplane is the eternal flame, or whatever they call that, for the 1996 Olympics. Right there, yeah. That's not actually something that they used for the Olympics, but it's something they put up after the fact, I think, to kind of commemorate the
memorial.
Yeah. Over there on the other side of the freeway, you see that very busy, that's the combination of Interstate 75 and 85. We call that the connector because they're connected. All that to the left over there on that side of the interstate, that's the campus of Georgia Institute of Technology. That's where I did my freshman year in college.
GIT, is
you
it?
You were a student there.
And Yes, well, Georgia Institute. I guess it is GIT. I don't think I've ever heard of anybody refer to it like that.
We talk about old GITs here all the time.
Yeah. Well, speaking of GITs, I'll say something even more inappropriate. If you move up, Liz, your cursor to the right, and right there. That's I'm sorry. That's AJ's cursor. That is what we lovingly refer to as the tit. That is
I don't get it.
I'll explain it to you.
It's not
after
much
the
of
show.
one, is what I can say.
Yeah,
I've seen bigger.
That's where that's when I was going to school there. That's where the basketball team played all their games. Okay. Anyway, and then the very most important thing, AJ, is you need to zoom in right below where the airplane is and just slightly to the left. That's like one of the most iconic places and best places for greasy spoon kind of food.
It's a must. It's a must do if you come to Atlanta.
The Varsity,
the original Varsity.
That's the original Varsity right there. Cool. And man, I love their food. It's not
right
very healthy.
The university probably. That's why they named it the Varsity.
Yeah. So anyway. Cool.
Good job.
Thank you, Jeff.
Great photo.
Jeff, you're a very good tour guide.
Well, thank you. I know a little bit about Atlanta since I've lived more than half of my life here. So,
that's very cool.
Yeah.
And this is what I drive in every day. Not this.
It doesn't look bad going north, but going south, not so good.
Yeah, it's unpleasant to say the least. But it is what it is. We do it for fun, right?
Yeah.
So that's I think that's the big stuff.
Pretty nice.
Got to do a little flying. Got to have some people over, cook a bunch of food. Still eating leftovers. So
sounds like a good week.
We did use some of the leftover barbecue pork and did kind of a variation on a Cuban. So I had a Cuban sandwich with barbecue pork and ham and cheese and all the fixins.
Yum. Well, let's just say, in your introduction, you talk about being, I don't know if we talk about it anymore, like a self-taught.
Well, if I could get on early enough to actually get an intro.
Oh, well, okay. Well, we'll put it in post. Probably not. But anyway, he is a wonderful cook, and everything that I've ever had that he has prepared has been just amazing. So,
was it very haute?
It was very haute. The cuisine was haute.
We had the redneck cuisine, we had the barbecue, and we had the haute cuisine. We had the duck confit.
And then he, at his party, he did some kind of a weird online game thing.
Yeah, 2 booms in a room.
Oh my gosh, I still don't understand what happened and what was going on. I was just like along for the ride, and
there was I'd say about maybe half the people that were playing actually understood what was happening.
Was there money involved?
There was no money involved, and everybody kept their clothes on. But it was just an interesting,
Neil
that would have been
Neil
more
has a
interesting,
question
of course.
Here.
But let's see. Neil Lanhorn says, "Got room for next year?" Yeah, come on over.
Come on, Neil. Bring Captain Nick with you.
Yeah,
be a fly-in.
Yeah,
that would be awesome. It really would. Okay.
Well, I thought you were coming here the next year for the 600th.
Well,
that's in May.
We'll try for
600.
That's in May. We don't cook turkeys in May.
We could make an exception.
I think you can cook them all year round, can't you?
I don't think so. Not here in the U.S., but maybe it's okay over there. I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, let's do some coffee fun, boys.
Shall we do some coffee fun? Okay, let's see. Let me hit that little button here. Button. That's the
Johnny,
coffee.
how much more coffee? No thanks.
I love coffee. Sing, AJ. I love tea. I love the APG community.
You don't.
Coffee and tea and the Java and me. A cup, a cup, a cup, a cup, a cup. Ooh, I regret going up that high. That's what she said. The Coffee Fund. It's your way to support our show financially if you have the resources to do so. A couple different ways that you can participate in becoming a member of our Coffee Bar Club. One is the Coffee Fund Classic Method, which is a PayPal contribution site. And Philip Caruso, with whom we will hear from him during our feedback section.
I think it's the
feedback
next
segment?
show.
Maybe not. Oh, and maybe the next show. At some point in the future, we're going to hear from Philip regarding his feedback. Anyway, it doesn't matter. He gave us some money, and we appreciate that. Thank you, Philip, for doing that. And we are also on Patreon, and you can become a patron of the show and contribute a designated amount per creation or episode. And we have a Norwegian, Kjell Reidar Johansen. I probably really messed that up, so sorry about that. But this is the first time that I've noticed on Patreon that we've actually received a pledge in NOK, which is Norwegian krone.
Kroner.
Yeah. And so thank you very much. And that falls in our producer level. So thank you very much, sir.
But I love it that we have a listener named Radar.
Radar. Is that the way you would pronounce that? Radar? Radar?
I don't know.
Like Radar O'Reilly? I think I got the Johansson part. I'm just not sure about the KJELL. How would you pronounce that? Kjell?
I would say Kjell.
Kjell? Oh, like a not a hard J, but more of like an I. Kjell? Radar Johansson.
Ask him to send us in some phonetic.
Yeah, you'll have to send us in some audio feedback, Kjell, and let us know exactly how to pronounce your name. But anyway, just lovely. I know that you're not the only Norwegian we have over or in our APG community listening to the show. So we do appreciate that we have another one like you and that are part of our coffee bar club. So thank you very much. So if you, dear listener, are interested in participating in that and becoming part of that great group of folks that we call the Coffee Bar Club, please head over to airlinepilotguide.com/coffee. You'll be glad you did. Well, if you're not, we will be.
Mm-hmm. That was kind of awkward.
Yeah. Everything about the show is awkward.
Yeah.
It's actually pronounced shell, by the way.
Shell?
Shell? Radar.
Oh, did you look that up?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. Well, now you tell me. Too late.
Yeah.
Okay.
You could
day late and $1
Oh,
short.
well, Chuck has some information that's very pertinent to the turkeys. Did you hear about all the turkeys recalled this year? They forgot to butter the balls. Speaking of balls, what do you have on your microphone, Captain Nick?
I have robins. Little red robins.
Little red robin balls. Okay.
Why?
Aw. Why?
They're Christmas
Good for
decorations.
Christmas, of course.
Oh, yeah, Christmas robins.
Yeah. I have no idea.
All right,
Okay.
let's do some feedback.
Shall we do some feedback? Okay.
Yeah.
If we have to.
Yeah.
Captain, incoming message.
We're going to start off our feedback with this from Steve Simpson. And it's referring to episode 686, which I believe was our last episode, because this is 687, if I've done my math correctly. Good morning, crew. Looking at the photo of the aircraft at the Berlin Museum, I guess the Checkpoint Charlie Museum that we talked about in episode 686 from Roberta in Victoria. I would identify it as a Handley Page Hermes. Is that here? Hermes?
Hermes.
Okay. Well, that was a lot easier than I thought it would be to pronounce. And so he would identify it as that, but I don't think you're correct, Steve.
Based on the website from the museum, it is in fact a Hastings, but also the link he provided us with the Wikipedia says...
No, I did that.
Oh, Liz
actually
provided us with that information.
Yeah, there is actually one Hermes 4 left in the world. A single example has been partially preserved, and it's at the Imperial War Museum in Duxford, so Nick can go visit it.
Yeah, that's where the Shuttleworth collection is that I showed a picture of earlier. The BE-2A.
Well, and the other thing that I was looking at, in those pictures of that Hermes. Hermes. Gosh, I'm sorry. I'll fix it.
Hermes.
Have you never watched Futurama?
Who's me?
No. Hermes is right if you're talking about the designer handbags, but
maybe that's what I'm confused with, because I have all these things from that designer.
I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Yeah. It doesn't. I think Apple has a watch band from Hermes.
Yeah. They're very popular.
Okay, I don't.
Anyway, moving on.
Yeah. Okay. So the thing that I was going to point out is that when we were looking at this picture from the Checkpoint Charlie Museum in Berlin, that we decided or kind of confirmed or whatever, analyzed that this was not an airplane that had a nose wheel, but it was a tail wheel, 4-engined aircraft. So there's no nose wheel there. But then if you go back to the pictures of the one that he thought was the correct identification, it's clearly a tri-gear or with a nose wheel kind of configuration.
And in his defense, the Hermes was developed in parallel with the Hastings, so they're
okay.
very similar.
There was a Hastings squadron that was called 1066.
Oh,
does that ring a bell?
The Battle of
Hastings. Where Harold got an arrow in the eye,
Exactly.
one of our kings. Yeah.
We'll have to remember
down,
that for episode 1066.
Yeah.
We're still around.
Don't worry, I won't forget. I'm honest.
When will that be? That will be...
I
don't think we'll be doing the show back then.
No.
Yeah, of course we will.
But guys,
8
wait a
years
minute.
away.
Let's just thank Steve for giving it a try.
Yeah, thank you, Steve. I do appreciate it. It's always good to hear from our community and have input, even if it
indeed
is not right.
Somebody has to get us to 50%.
We have somebody in our green room that wants to join us, I think. I don't know if she wants to or not, but she's going to. And,
wait,
what
Steph
happened
gets
to her?
to use the green room?
She was there.
When she heard me talking about her, she said, nope,
she's gone
never
away
mind.
again. Yeah.
She
I
chickened out.
got a bone
She
to
saw
pick.
who was on the show and said no.
Yeah.
You let Steph use the green room and I still have to go in the closet? That's not cool.
Well,
Steffi,
I mean,
where are
it's
you,
just
lovey?
the way
Room
we
closet's just-
we just refer to the same place as a different thing. Then
I'm going to renegotiate my contract.
And
you should.
sorry, Steph, I took the last IPA out of the green room, so
Oh no!
can't. Yeah,
Ooh, that
That's a
looks
shame.
like an interesting one. What's the name of that one, Captain Nick?
a proper
Oh, a
job.
proper job. I always
There
enjoy
we
a
go.
proper job.
Like a proper jobby? Yeah.
Do you?
Sure you do. Man of your age always appreciates one.
Hey, shut up.
I guess we'll just carry on and wait for Steph
Let's
to
just
join
carry
in.
on, which is what we do each and every week. Just carry
Yeah.
on.
Yeah.
Okay. So
It's
We
the
don't keep
carry
calling
on
them.
movies. Carry on APG.
carry on APG. Okay, here we go. This next item is from thanks. No, just not to belittle Steve for making an input on what he thought was the correct identification of the aircraft in the museum. So thank you very much for that. We do appreciate your feedback, sir.
Steffi's there now.
Oh, Steph's there now. So give me a thumbs up if you're ready to come. Oh, never mind. You're here. Hey.
I'm here.
Too late.
Yeah, I popped in, but then none of my audio stuff was working correctly, so I exited to fix that.
Well, thanks for
It was good
fixing
timing
it.
because my dogs decided they should bark wildly at something outside at the same time. So
Why, we
got
wouldn't
that
have heard
managed,
anyway.
got the audio managed, and yeah,
Good.
all
Well
good.
done, Steffi. Great to see you.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us, Steph.
Yeah.
Look great. Okay.
Thanks. I feel like it's
Oh, I have to now say to AJ, you look great too, AJ.
Thank you.
He's a little jealous.
everybody looks great.
Oh, and
I'm
you
just
look
gonna
great
say.
too, Captain Nick. I mean, always. I mean, I don't know, why I have to say that. I mean, it's just like a given.
It's just
that-
assumed.
That's
Yeah,
the standard, right?
And even though Liz is not with us on the big screen, I'm looking at her video thumbnail, and she looks just amazing as well. So,
Glowing.
okay.
Marvelous.
Okay.
May I now continue with our...
Yes, our second feedback item. Mhm.
Okay. From
Continue.
Brian.
I have no idea where we are. I will catch up.
We are on number 3B on the feedback. 100s of balloons in the air. He says...
Hundreds of balloons. Hundreds.
Hundreds.
Of
No,
balloons.
not
What
100.
did I say?
100.
100s.
of balloons.
Oh.
Well, that's actually what it says on
Well,
the
it says
title.
100. So, okay,
Well,
let
that's what
me
he put on there.
let me correct this. It should be written out HUNDREDS. Hundreds.
That's too many
I
S's.
fixed it.
There you go.
Hundreds of balloons in the air. I don't know. Steph, don't do that to me. All right.
I enjoyed that.
Embarrassed me. Look, the very next sentence says hundreds spelled out. There are hundreds of balloons in the air at any time. Most are less than 1 pound. The FAA doesn't have to be notified unless they weigh more than 6 pounds. Ever since high-quality helium became expensive 10 years ago, balloons moved to hydrogen and the payloads decreased. Here is a website to see balloons that are currently in the atmosphere, and this is a link to Sondehub. .org. I guess sonde, like sounding, I guess that's what that means.
Isn't it Sonde?
I don't know. Sonde?
I've got a question.
Yeah.
Apart from your pronunciation of Sondehub,
which is very questionable. Yeah.
Exactly. So since high-quality helium became expensive, balloons moved to hydrogen and the payloads decreased. Hydrogen, if I'm not mistaken, is a lighter gas than helium, so it can carry more payload. So why did the payload decrease?
I don't know. What's the answer?
I don't know either.
Oh,
I'm assuming
okay,
somebody out there. Is there
question.
a balloonist in the audience, please, who could
you've chased
explain
them all
this
away.
to me?
Well, the
I
thing
mean,
I
I always
know
thought
is,
that.
What are you going to do now when you want to have that high squeaky voice? Because hydrogen doesn't do that thing to your
No,
vocal
but
cords.
hydrogen is highly flammable and explosive.
That's true.
Unlike helium.
Aren't they finding ways to make it less flammable?
I don't know.
I
Are
don't
they?
know.
Tell us about that, Captain Nick.
I don't know.
I'm curious how that works with the periodic
Look,
table
I'm not an
elements.
expert on bloody balloons.
Chemistry.
He just throws things in, but he doesn't have a clue.
Anyway.
So hey, from now on, if you start proposing or throwing that kind of stuff out, you have to be prepared to
Back it up,
explain.
man. Back it
Well,
up.
I'm
you
throwing
mean.
it out there for the listeners so that they can have a subject to write in about and make fun of my ignorance, which is enormous. So, yes.
Hey, we have to say goodnight to Gubby. It's getting late over there where he is in Dubai, I think.
Poor Gubby. Sorry, mate.
Gubby,
Cheery
thanks for
bye.
joining us. We appreciate that. Sweet dreams. Night-night.
Yep.
Okay. Adios, muchachos. If you combine, Neil says, if you combine hydrogen with 2 oxygens, it's very much less flammable. Yes. And if you breathe that, by the way, you will die.
Yes. But if you drink it,
It's okay if you drink
probably
it.
okay.
But it's not
Yeah.
really good at keeping balloons afloat. That
No, it seems like...
no, 2 hydrogen, 1 oxygen.
Have you seen the?
2
have
hydrogen.
you seen
No, not
the,
2 oxygen, 1 hydrogen. 2 hydrogen,
Oh,
1 oxygen.
H2... Oh, you're
Yeah.
right.
Sorry, I had it back. I was reading his thing wrong.
I
I
guess
was like,
that
is
would
he
be
just making water?
oxygen hydroxide. Would that be?
That makes a much bigger boom.
sounds good.
Yeah.
What's H2S then?
I don't know. Wow.
Hydrogen
We've
sulfide.
really gone down the...
Sulfide.
He doesn't know either. He's just putting it on. He's just asking these crazy questions tonight.
Have you guys seen this movement called the Dihydrogen Monoxide Awareness Society?
Yes.
Oh.
They have a lot of really interesting facts. Like every single person that has ever drank dihydrogen monoxide has died.
Yes. It's not... You, well, no. You can drink it. You just
But
can't
you will die.
breathe
You
it.
can't
But
breathe
eventually, no, if you drink it, eventually you will die. Every single person that has
Well,
drank
I mean, I
dihydrogen
think,
monoxide
yeah,
has
I
eventually
guess that's
died.
true because we all do die.
What about those of us that drink it that are still alive, though?
It just hasn't taken effect yet.
Okay. Wow. All right, let's
We're
get back to this
wasting
feedback
time.
from
Anyways.
our good friend Brian. Most of these balloons are launched by ham radio operators and weigh less than 500 grams. For reference, 1,000 grams, which is a kilogram, is 2.2 pounds. So I guess less than 500 grams would be less than 1.1 pounds. And while windborne systems have a 1 in 4,000 hit ratio, they are not the only people launching balloons. This is the only known damage to a plane in many thousands of balloon launches. Of course, he's referring to the United 737, which was south of Salt Lake City, and they hit the balloon from windborne systems at 36,000 feet, and they diverted into Salt Lake City. Most of these balloons spend weeks going around the Earth in the 45K to 50K altitude range. And we kind of talked about the fact that maybe, well, that would be okay. 45 to 50, not a lot of airliners up there in that altitude range. Anyway,
But
there's
isn't
some
Captain
biz
Nick
jets, though.
Isn't Captain Nick a ham radio operator? Is he at fault for all of these?
Captain Nick is a ham radio operator.
No, I'm not a ham. I'm not a ham.
Oh, you're
I am
more
a
than a
radio
ham.
amateur. Yeah.
A ham is the American radio operators. They're the hams.
We're trying
What
to
does ham stand for? High?
Highly amateuristic.
I don't think that's it.
You have a better guess?
I don't know, but I was going to help
up.
with the pronunciation of the website.
Okay.
It's a
Please,
Sonde.
Steffi. Sonde.
Sonde.
Sonde hub?
Yeah, because a sonde is just an instrument that measures something like a probe.
Is it,
Like they'll drop sondes into
sonde
like
buoys? Yeah.
Ice
hurricanes
and stuff.
things.
Kind of a
Depth
probing
sonding.
answer from you.
Mhm.
Okay.
So, Sonde hub.
Thank you for the correction. Let's see. P.S. This is again from Brian. Sorry, Brian, for like completely tearing up your feedback. Postscript. There are 2 podcast feeds in the Pocket Cast system. One stopped getting updates at the end of October. I unfortunately was following that feed. Didn't realize it until I went to the website, found that you published 3 podcasts that I wasn't seeing. Okay, yeah, this is a good public service announcement. And I mentioned this a couple of shows ago where all of a sudden the feed that was being used by Spotify and apparently used by Pocket Casts and maybe some others out there, they shouldn't be using that feed, but they were, suddenly stopped working. And so I had to kind of do some things in the background and replace that feed with one that actually has all the episodes in it. And so that's what happened there. So yeah, if you're or I don't know if anybody, you're probably not hearing me right now talking because you're no longer getting the show in your feed. But yeah, that's what happened there. So there was a little bit of a speed bump in the URL, the podcast RSS feed world that happened. So,
and
yeah.
talking of 3-letter acronyms, the term ham is believed to have originated as a derogatory term used by professional telegraphers in the early 1900s for what they saw as an unskilled amateur. Rather than being offended, the amateurs embraced the name and it eventually became a badge of honor.
So maybe the amateuristic, the A part.
And you thought I was just making it up.
I did. I really honestly did, and I still do. All right.
All right, let's do some more balloon.
Let's do some more balloons. Do we really want to do that? Okay, here we go. This is some feedback from Roberta Westwood in Victoria, BC. In Lithuania, balloons shut the airport down. Hi, team. Not sure if this is interesting enough. No, but, you know, it's the APG, so we'll take anything we can get.
Okay,
what else do we have?
We're desperate.
Okay. So thank you, Roberta, for sending a link to this from travelgumbo.com. Travel Gumbo. Interesting website name. In Lithuania, balloons shut the airport. Okay, shut the airport. While other airports struggle with technical failures, shut down because of drone overflights, or limit operations because of strikes, Vilnius Airport has had to shut down several times because of crowds of hot air balloons. The balloons, as many as 25 at a time, are apparently used by cigarette smugglers from neighboring Belarus. Wow. Really? People are still smuggling cigarettes?
And,
good Lord.
They're expensive in some places.
Let's just consider the options for vehicles to use in your smuggling operation.
Okay. Let's consider.
And the choice was a balloon.
Yeah.
Well, I suppose it's cheap.
Filled with hydrogen, so, yeah.
Well, at least
no smoking.
It was not a hot air balloon. That would have been
no sampling the goods.
That would have been
yeah, but you're not allowed to smoke within 50 feet of a balloon, are you?
Yeah.
It doesn't say anything about unlit cigarettes.
No. Anyway, these balloons were used by cigarette smugglers from neighboring Belarus who have found them cheaper than drones for their purpose. Police recovered 18,000 packs of untaxed cigarettes from at least 11 of the balloons. Lithuanian spokesperson Darius Buta told press that the country isn't viewing it as a security issue, although Belarus is a close Russian ally. Both smuggling balloons and drones are criminal activities, but not as provocations or acts of sabotage, he said. In 2024, 966 hot air balloons, maybe they are hot air balloons, entering from Belarus. They probably just called them hot air balloons because they don't know what else to call them. They don't look in the pictures that we're seeing here. They are not hot air balloons. From Belarus were intercepted by Lithuanian authorities. There have been 544 recorded this year. So,
well, I never.
Yeah. Can you believe it?
So I feel like it's my duty as a physician to have this public service announcement moment that smoking is bad for you and you should quit.
I think you should add ballooning is bad for you and you should quit.
Well, that great
What's more
segue,
dangerous?
Captain Nick, because that's the next one. Is
Well, I don't know. Based on the next feedback that we have.
Well, this next feedback might shed some light on that then. We'll see.
Captain Nick talked about this on the last show.
Okay, let's see. This is from this next piece of feedback from Dom O'Kelly. Hot air balloons carry more risk than helicopters and light planes, a report finds. And this is from the Australian Broadcast Corporation, or ABC. Hi, Liz and the APG team. Hi. It's Dom here from Sydney, Australia. Hope you're all well. Liz said hello, or hi, too. I just saw this article referencing an Australian Transport Safety Bureau, ATSB, report into the dangers of hot air balloons and thought it'd be worth sending in. I tend to agree with Captain Nick. Balloons are for weather instruments and kids' birthday parties. Thanks for the great podcast and all your hard work. Kind regards, Dom. Oh,
that's one way to get rid of the kids when you're having a birthday party.
Put them in
a balloon.
Light that dang thing up.
Bye.
So he included a link to this. Do I need to read the link, the article here? I think there's some pretty pictures.
I think the main point was there were 79 balloon incidents between 2014 and 2022. So quite a large number.
Well, I'm going to quote the line here, which I like, which is hot air balloon rides are nearly 10 times riskier than a joy flight in a helicopter or light plane. A new report by the National Transport Safety Investigator has found. 10 times riskier. Don't do it.
So Jim Fulton on the last show survived his ride. So.
I think they're mainly due to the incidents during landing because, with wind being the most common contributing factor, it's very hard to have a balloon ride without some wind because otherwise you just go straight up and straight down again, wouldn't you? You wouldn't actually go anywhere. But when you land with a bit of wind, it's quite likely that the basket will tip over and you're much more likely to have a passenger injury, whereas clambering out of a helicopter or an aircraft after your joyride is usually fairly safe.
So you're saying that we should just be parachuting from hot air balloons?
I don't think that's what they're saying.
I don't think so. I'm going to go with... Unless you're a seasoned parachutist, you're going to break something if you parachute out of a balloon.
Is this like the Monty Hall math problem thing? If you parachute out of a balloon, which one's less safe, and it actually makes you safer by doing it or something?
I think so.
Oh, I don't know, but I'm just wondering what's going to happen to the balloon when you jump out. It's going to go up even higher. And then everyone's going to become anoxic.
And then a plane will run into it. And then,
yeah, exactly right. Then you'll hit a 737 and smash the windshield.
They'll think it's space debris, and then,
See what you've done, Dom. See what you've done by sending this piece of feedback in. Wow.
I will say, I did learn something from this.
Yeah.
Some of these balloons that are massive.
Mm-hmm.
Like they're talking about 24 passengers in some of these balloons. In the hot air balloon. That seems
the size of that
like a lot.
I feel like you need a very large balloon to carry that many passengers.
Check out that basket.
Very impressive basket for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, well, Jay Shesher, head of flying operations at Hot Air Balloon Australia, has flown 6,000 passengers each year across Queensland for nearly 3 decades.
And most of them
giving
survived.
him, so 30 times 6 is 180,000 passengers, giving him a front row view of the risks highlighted in the report. Did I do my math correctly there, just on the fly?
I don't know. But I used to do that every 6 months.
Well,
yeah.
Show off.
Look at you. According to Mr. Schesser, he said, we don't have runways. Every landing in a balloon is a calculated risk mitigation process we have to go through with trees, power lines, and changing winds. Sounds dangerous to me. I don't know.
I just read that as crash.
Yeah.
Do you know that Ray
Exactly.
Davis in Australia, he is involved in ballooning? I think he works.
I like how they describe some of these incidents.
I think he shoots them down, doesn't he? It's his job to bring them down if they're going near a airport or something. He's got a big gun.
No, that's your job, Nick.
Liz was talking about Ray Davis, our APG community member down under, and his involvement in this nefarious world of balloon aviation. Yeah, he thinks it's safe. I'm sorry.
I was going to say, I just liked how they described some of these incidents, the language that they use for it. There was one incident where they had 20 passengers on board. We were approaching a landing when fog rolled in and the winds shifted. The pilot chose an alternate site, and as the balloon touched down, the basket carried forward, which I can just imagine means it spilled forward and everybody fell out on each other or something.
Ooh, yeah.
A polite way of saying it tipped over when everyone fell out and broke their arms.
Exactly. It carried forward, yes.
Oh, there's one here. I mean, this is great from Australia because you've got kangaroos everywhere. This basket skipped several times along the ground before coming to a stop and brushed against a dead tree, causing minor damage. Well, passengers adopted a brace position. Well, I think you have to do that for every landing.
I was going to say, that's standard procedure.
The whole flight. Just be in a brace position.
There you go.
I have to say that the whole fog incident or scenario, the good news about that is nobody could see any of that happening. So it pretty much didn't happen.
Well, Neil has a great question. He said, was it minor damage to the balloon or the tree?
Good question.
UH Blackhawk says, I think on the list of dangerous things in Australia, hot air balloons are low. Yeah, that's true. A lot of dangerous things.
Fair enough. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go along with that.
Actually,
somewhere below the crawling and slithering things.
Yeah, balloon flying, probably one of the safer things you can do down under. Yeah.
So thank you to the community, but we've had enough balloon feedback now for a while.
No more balloon stuff, okay? That's enough.
Yeah.
Thank
Captain
you.
Nick is on overdose now.
We do appreciate it.
I'm getting overexcited.
We have another piece of feedback from Roberta Westwood in Victoria. The hijacking of Finnair Flight 405 in photographs. Okay. When did this happen? These are photos capturing
1978.
Oh, 1978, a long time ago. There are photos capturing dramatic scenes of Finland's first ever airline.
Was that a caravel?
Hijack. I don't know. That looks. Go back a couple.
I was just seeing if there are any other ones. Sorry.
Oh, okay. That. I don't know. Is that a caravel?
It looks like a Sonde Aviation caravel.
No, it's a Hermes.
No, it's a Hermes, yeah.
It's got a nose wheel. Can't be a Hermes.
No, the Hermes had the nose wheel. That was the problem.
That's true. It is. Yeah, the Hastings didn't have the nose wheel, but neither did it have two jet engines.
I can't believe we're getting it.
Roberta, see what you've done. This is...
Again.
Now go forward in a photograph, in one of the pictures there. That one, that looks like a McDonnell Douglas product to me.
Yeah, that looks like
does. It's like a Mad Dog.
That looks like something either a Mad Dog or a predecessor of.
What are these two couple cuddling in the foreground?
I don't know. What is he doing with his left hand? I'd like to know.
I don't know.
A predecessor of a Mad Dog would be a Mad Dinosaur, wouldn't it?
That would be a very, very early predecessor. Yes. Anyway.
Look at all these guys with their hats and everything, their fedoras.
I love it.
Back in 1978.
Trench coat and a hat.
Yeah.
That must be the detective, right?
I guess.
I don't know what that's supposed to be depicting. What's he doing with his hands?
I don't know. Some kind of a signal.
No, but look at the size of his lapels. Very impressive.
And look at the size of his...
Now we're into fashion critiquing.
Okay. Wow. Okay, no Roberta, don't do this to us anymore. I guess we need to say something about this first ever hijacking in Finland. Helsinki Airport. It was Flight 405, a domestic flight from Oulu and Helsinki with 44 passengers, hijacked on 30 September 78 by Arno Lamenparis, a 37-year-old unemployed building contractor. He was threatening the cabin crew with a loaded pistol, demanded ransom money, and forced the pilots to fly the plane between Helsinki and Oulu. With ransom money paid and some hostages released, he then demanded that the pilots fly to Schiphol in Amsterdam, where the plane refueled. And then they returned to Helsinki. The remainder of his ransom demands were met, and more hostages were released, and then the plane returned to Oulu. Okay.
I like his final demands.
Yeah, what were his demands? Yeah.
His final demands included 4 bottles of whiskey, a chauffeured limousine, and 24 hours alone at home with his wife. Having agreed to this, the final hostages were released. What a fine ending. Instead of shooting him, the SAS blowing his head off, they let him go home to his wife.
They forced him to be with his wife for 24 hours.
Yes, with 4 bottles of whiskey.
His poor wife.
I'm wondering how she felt about this whole thing.
Yeah, his poor wife. Yeah,
well, 1970s, I don't think they bothered asking her.
But this has to be the first round trip hijacking in history. Because he went to 2 different locations and then went back to the original where he took off from.
Well, this is their first hijacking. They really didn't know exactly how to handle it.
They didn't understand the purpose. Yeah. It's like, I really just want to go back home with my wife. So I got on this airplane
It's
to
a
do
great
that.
story, Roberta.
Really.
It's fantastic.
We'll have the entire article in our show notes if you dare look into it any more than what we've done. Okay, this is for Captain Nick because he was kind of confused. Well, we were all confused about white elephant gifts.
I wasn't.
Well, I know you weren't because you know so
Jay,
much.
you're very clever.
Yes. This is from Carl. Is it Houde? How do you pronounce his name?
Houde.
H-O-U-D. Houde?
Houde.
Okay.
Yeah.
AJ asked about a white elephant gift party, and that absolutely is related to the story Captain Nick told. White elephant is a gift swap where you take an unwanted item from your home and do this trading thing as described. This is not, I repeat, not the same as, not that anybody asked, Carl. This is not, he says, I repeat, not the same as a Yankee swap, and it's my mission in life to end this confusion.
We don't do none of that Yankee stuff down here in these parts.
Did we even talk about a Yankee swap, and were we confused about the difference between a Yankee swap and a white elephant party?
We don't even have any Yankees on the show. I don't know.
I know they ain't. This is Roswell, Georgia, sir.
This is the South.
And South Kakalaki.
Yeah. Anyway, let's continue with, since he took the time to go ahead and send us some feedback, let's go ahead and, address his question here, or his feedback. So a Yankee swap operates the same way. Put the wrapped gifts in a pile and everyone takes turns to pick one. Show it to the group and then you can keep it or swap it with a previously picked item.
That sounds very much like a wife swapping party.
Oh, well, we're not back in the 70s anymore.
That must be particular to the UK.
Isn't that where they throw the keys in the...
Yeah, you don't put gifts, you put your keys in a pile.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Keep
all right,
going.
moving on.
Keep going,
Everyone
Jeff.
gets a turn, then the first person gets the final swap as there were no options to swap when they picked. The key difference is what you bring. A Yankee swap has desirable gifts, and the best usually specify a theme appropriate to the group. The worst thing is when someone has obviously brought a white elephant to a Yankee swap because they thought it was the same thing. Yankee swaps are quite common in New England. Oh, that's a shocker. And I've seen this go wrong far too many times. Don't be that person. Obviously, Carl has been scarred.
That person.
By this whole...
He's been on the receiving end of a white elephant gift at a Yankee swap.
Right.
Well,
he probably
the
brought
good
a
news is,
really nice gift. Yeah.
The good news is the vast majority of us being here in the South, very little risk of getting into a Yankee swap situation, unless we're swapping the Yankees back to New England.
Well, what about the Rebel swap? You want to talk about that? No.
Well,
No, we don't talk about that.
That's, yeah. That's confidential.
Okay. Thank you, Carl.
Thanks, Carl.
I'm glad that he got that off of his chest, so to speak. Yeah.
Yep, it's obviously a passionate feeling.
Yes, we hit a nerve. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. This next piece of feedback is from Peter Tarantelli. He says, so Peter says, Captain Jeff, isn't this what you flew? And then I said, no. So he sent us
close.
a video of a very large radio-controlled model of a C-17 made by McDonnell Douglas, not by Lockheed. So let me go ahead and see.
Yours was long and thin, wasn't it?
Well, it was.
Not big and fat like that one.
Not anymore. Let's see. Where am I going here? I'm trying to find the control window for this so that I can actually play this video. Okay, here we go. We're going to play this. Must be an Instagram video or something. Let's see. Okay, so they're standing around at this RC model fly-in kind of thing, and this C-17 model is huge.
Yeah.
I'd say the wingspan's got to be, what, close to 20 feet? 15, 20 feet?
I was going to say 15 or 20 feet, yeah.
Okay, now listen. The thing that really amazed me is listen to the sound of this thing, especially when it's flying and it goes by. It actually sounds like a real jet.
But it's got jet turbines powering it.
Are they electric?
But aren't these like electric?
No, you get petrol ones. You get proper.
You can get both. Yeah, those might be the little miniature turbine. The way that spooled up though, that sounded a lot like an electric ducted fan.
It did, didn't it? Yeah.
But there are times that it sounds like a jet engine to me. That's amazing. So we're watching the video of this thing flying around. Again, Peter, this is a more modern version of a military transport aircraft, C-17. I flew the C-141, a much older.
You see the flaps? They look so realistic.
Okay.
Some of these guys with these giant scale RCs, they go so incredibly detailed.
Wow. It's a bit of nearly a ground loop. But apart
how much
from that,
money do you think he spent making this thing? That's
a
lot.
Yeah, it's got to be in the tens of thousands.
I'm impressed. Very much impressed.
Yep.
All right. Well, thank you, Peter. But yeah, it was a great video.
But yeah.
But not
you
the
were
thing
wrong.
that I flew. Yeah.
Got a lot of wrong people on the show today.
A lot of people in error. You're right, Liz.
Mainly us.
Well, of course, they're just joining us.
Well, that's always the case.
We're all aiming for 50% here.
Exactly.
This is how we influence our audience by just bringing them down. Yeah. Okay, this is from Lars Aspen, feedback to Kim from Germany in episode 682. So you remember in 682, Kim from Germany sent in some audio feedback, which is awesome. We love audio feedback, especially from places around the world other than the United States or from, non-English speaking countries. And it was great audio, and she was asking for some advice. And so this is from Lars, and he says, hey guys, great show as always. In the 5 years I've known about this show, I've gone from being a de-employed post-COVID 737 driver to a re-employed 320 driver and a TKI, TRI. And Captain Nick, that's, what does that stand for, those letters? Something like
I
that.
don't know what a TKI is. A TRI is someone else
Training,
who does
something
a different
instructor.
job.
It's some kind of like a really super, advanced instructor, I think, for a Scandinavian airline.
Knowledgeable. Totally knowledgeable instructor.
Totally knowledgeable. Which makes you wonder, why is Lars still listening to our podcast?
He's not. But notice, he didn't write this to us. He wrote this to Kim. We're just.
Oh, that's true. Yes. This is actually aimed
It's
at
a
Kim.
Type rating instructor?
Knowledge
TRI?
Instructor.
Oh,
theoretical knowledge instructor.
Ooh,
Yeah,
theoretical
TKI
knowledge.
and TRI are instructional rows.
What is it?
Theoretical
A
knowledge
theoretical
instructor.
knowledge instructor.
But what was the second one? Liz?
Type rating instructor.
Type rating instructor. Okay, cool.
All right.
It's very smart.
Do any of them fly airplanes?
For a Scandinavian airline. And even though I agree with all the tips and points you shared with Kim, okay, here it comes. I think perhaps the answer is simpler, so to speak. From my own perspective, I thought we gave really good advice, but okay. From my own perspective as a fairly young first officer, as well as an instructor, I believe the most important traits for an aspiring pilot is to be humble, confident, and curious. Humble enough to know that you don't know everything. That's smart, yes. But confident enough to apply what you do know. And perhaps the most important trait, in his mind, the curiosity to always want to learn more. Just about anything can be taught and trained so long as the desire is present. Blue skies, Kim, and as Nick said, the industry is a kindergarten, so you'll be right at home. I think he was talking about the pilots, actually. Great show. Keep up the great work, everyone. Happy landings, Lars. Thank you, Lars. And very, very good advice and well said. And yeah, especially the last part, as you say, the curiosity to always want to keep learning about things that you don't know anything about or whatever. That's what keeps old people young, really, right?
Huh?
Liz, are you still with us?
What?
No.
What?
Somebody explain it to Liz. Yeah, it's okay. Wake up, Liz. It's okay.
Yeah, I'm back.
Yeah, that is so true. Thank you, Lars, for taking the time to send us the feedback. And we do appreciate it. And, we have some audio feedback. That's good. From Vernon Tryon. Let's see. Greetings, APG crew. Here's a bit of history we learned on our 50th anniversary dream road trip. We even went through Liz's Toronto, but regretted not to meet up as she was not in town that weekend.
I didn't want to spoil their dream trip by meeting up with them.
That's what she told you. I'm sure she was there. She just didn't want to see you.
No, it was their dream trip. And
it was a dream trip. Well, you know what, Liz? Nightmares are dreams too.
That's true. Anyway, let's get his audio. Let's go.
Okay, let's play some audio from Vernon.
Greetings, APG crew. It's Vernon Tryon. Long-time listener and long time since I submitted any feedback. Thought it's about time I do that. Earlier this month, my wife and I returned from a dream road trip for our 50th wedding anniversary. Ended up being 9 weeks of 6,600 miles, 14 states, 2 Canadian provinces, and endless museums, and family and relatives and friends to see. Anyway, the reason I wanted to send some feedback is there were 2 very important things that we managed to see that I would think would be very interesting to the all our fellow listeners. I think it's been mentioned once before in APG, the Flight 93 National Memorial, the plane 9/11 that did not make the terrorists' destination target and was forced down by the passengers and crew in western Pennsylvania off the Pennsylvania Turnpike. Regrettably, with the government shutdown, the memorial was shut down, but it's mostly outdoors. And actually, the design was brilliant in that you could see in through windows and see many of the descriptions and the displays, even though the doors were locked. But that was just an amazing memorial, and I would recommend every pilot try to see it. I think I left there almost with tears in my eyes because it was just so well done, memorializing the last moments and the heroic efforts of the crew and the passengers on board. And we stumbled across that quite by accident, pulling off to a rest area. And there was a plaque there that saying the crash site was just a few miles away. So we decided to take that diversion and go see it and spend an hour or two there. And very, very moving displays. So that's the Flight 93 National Memorial. And then the other one I found of aviation interest, we went through Dayton, Ohio, hoping to get to the Air Force Museum, but that was closed with the government shutdown. And we found the Carillon historical park in Dayton that highlights many of the technological advancements and inventions that had occurred around Dayton over the years. And of course, that's where the Wright brothers were. And one of the buildings there is the Wright Brothers National Museum. It was quite fascinating to see a replica of their old bicycle shop, the wind tunnel that they had developed in order to test their airfoils, and then reconstructed the 1905 Wright Flyer 3, which was apparently their last test aircraft, in which then after that they would start building production aircraft. It was powered by a 16 to 25 horsepower engine. And as the pilot would lie on the bottom wing, virtually every appendage of his body, feet, hands, would be used to control the plane. And one of the things I found fascinating was they would have volunteer hosts there talking about some of the details of it. And he told us that if you look closely, there's a wire over the pilot's head as he would lie down on the wings. And there was no throttle. It was like full bore or not. And so when he was ready to cut the power from the engine, he would lift his head to push on that wire, and that would shut the engine off. So that was certainly a fascinating tidbit of trivia that had to do with the Wright Flyer 3. So anyone interested in the roots of aviation, that's a very fascinating place to visit as well. At any rate, hope keep continuing the great work of APG. I haven't quite caught up to date, but keep listening and appreciate everything you do. And with that, to sign off is Vernon Tryon from Fort Morgan, Colorado. And as soon as I figure out how to turn this thing off, then we'll call it quits. Thanks. Keep up the good work. Bye now.
Right over there. Yeah, that one. All right. Yeah, Dayton, Ohio, the birthplace of aviation, right?
Here we go.
Close. I think you'll find.
I mean, it's the birthplace of
Otto
the
Lilienthal.
Wright brothers.
Oh, now we got Nick in the mix too. Okay.
And then don't get those Brazilians started either.
Yeah.
Right. And the New Zealanders.
I mean, we'll all just take a field trip out to, Kitty Hawk and
Kitty Hawk, where's that?
Kill Devil
Is that in
Hills.
Ohio?
That's it.
Is
That's
that near
in North
Dayton?
Carolina.
Oh, that's North Carolina.
It's nowhere near Ohio.
Okay. Well, you know what? We here in Georgia, we can't lay claim to any of that, so we're going to stay out of it.
You just
Okay,
have
I'm
the
not
best
actually in North
aviators
Carolina,
in
so.
Georgia.
The best aviators in Georgia,
Not
that's
the
for
first
sure.
ones, just the best one.
Thanks, Liz. All right, Vernon, thanks so much. Sounds like a great dream trip that you took. Wow.
9 weeks on the road.
With his wife.
That sounds like a
Good
lot.
job.
That poor lady.
Quite a trip.
That poor lady.
Just kidding, Vernon.
All right. That last but not least, this is a good one.
Last but not least. Okay. This is from Robert
Yep.
Tucker.
Yep.
Yeah,
Robert
it's
Tucker,
actually
exactly.
it's actually Robert
Yeah,
Thompson in Tucker, Georgia. Okay, so he sent in this picture, this graphic of the sleeve, the right sleeve from a captain's uniform, and it has embroidered some numbers embroidered on the cuff of the short sleeve. And it says 4/22/29. And the thing that the caption here says, here's a guy who's sick of the first officers asking, when are you going to retire? So that's pretty clever. He just embroidered it on his shirt. That's when I'm going to retire.
I think that's
4/22/29. That is awesome. I love it.
He got the date wrong though.
Well, obviously, he's retiring on the 4th day of the 22nd month of 2029.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, that's the way a lot of people in the world do the order of the chronology of dates.
Those people would be wrong.
Metric date. That's the metric date.
Yeah. So here, I guess I should do 22/4/29 for those of you.
Oh, April.
In the United
Right.
States.
Okay. Gotcha. No.
Yeah. April 22nd. 2029.
Anyway, love it, Robert. That's
great. Thank you, Robert, for sending that.
Well, if
in.
I were him, I'd retire 21 days earlier on April Fool's Day.
Oh, yeah. Exactly. And then just show up for work, and they go, well, what are you doing here? And I go, oh, come on, April Fools.
Yeah, April Fools.
I'm not leaving.
Not actually
I'm
going
really
to retire?
gone. Get out of my seat.
Thought you were moving up a place on that seniority list? Not
Suckers.
today.
Psych. Now, what if he decides, like, he gets close to that? I mean, that's quite a ways off into the future.
Yeah.
Maybe he starts feeling like I did in my last few months. The guy, maybe I'll leave a little bit earlier than 422.
No,
maybe
you
I'll
can't.
need to
You
get
already
some
put it
new
on the
shirts.
shirt. It's locked in.
Yeah, new shirts.
Yeah.
Maybe you have a couple of different shirts.
He can't afford
Made up
Yeah,
just
he
in
could.
case.
He should
Depending on his
he should
mood.
have different dates on each shirt he wears for the trip.
Yes.
Yeah,
Keep
that would
them
be a
guessing.
good idea.
All right.
Keep 'em
let's
guessing.
wrap this baby up.
All right, let's wrap this sucker up and point you over to our website, airlinepilotguy.com, where we have mostly accurate information about the crew and the community and the calendar and merchandise, and of course a special page just for Plain Tales, which, by the way, is a standalone podcast if you want to subscribe to that and not have to listen to any of this other stuff. Just Plain Tales,
don't do
100% of the time.
And its RSS feed just keeps working.
Yeah, I don't. Well, I'm assuming nobody's complained yet, so I'm assuming that's still working. AJ. Yeah, so lots of good stuff there. So check it out, please. And we're also on social media, or what I like to call the social meds.
If you're a fan of the social medias, you can head over to facebook.com/airlinepilotguy. Also, check us out on X. We are at APG Crew. If you're looking for Captain Nick's weekly show artwork, where he's hidden the show numbers and the logo and the Jackass Penguin, that is on Instagram, instagram.com/APG Crew. And if you're looking for these live recordings or the recordings of the live show to watch at your leisure, they're on YouTube, youtube.com/airlinepilotguy. And as always, for those of you who want even another layer of in-depth APG-ness, that would be Slack.
Does that like Steph?
Yeah, no, nobody does. Hey, hello, can you tell us about Slack?
Okay, but I'm dripping wet. APG listeners, please join us on our Slack team. Slack is a communication, coordination, and sharing platform that works on your mobile, laptop, or browser. On Slack, we share news and ideas, we suggest episode and Plain Tales topics, we plan events and meetups. To get into the Slack team, please email me at slack@airlinepilotguy.com. That's SLACK, Sierra Lima Alpha Charlie Kilo @airlinepilotguy.com. Or send me a tweet with your preferred email address to @Hillel, and I'll send you an invitation. That's Hillel, spelled Hotel India 11 Echo 1, and see you in Slack.
Thank you, Hillel.
Jeff,
What?
I don't understand it. How can we be out of conditioner again?
I don't know. You might want to ask that lady standing right next to you. Yeah.
That is one hell of a giggle.
Did I hear more than one feminine voice that time?
Maybe in your mind, but it's the same clip that I keep playing, so I think
Talk
it's the
about
same.
fantasy trip.
Yeah.
Yeah, that is brilliant.
And we do appreciate all of the hard work that Hillel does for us with managing the Slack group, all those Slackers out there. And we also like to thank our producer, Liz. Thank you so much
Hey,
for all the
well
hard
done,
work
Liz.
that she does.
Good job.
You're
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you,
You're
Liz.
welcome.
We love you and love all the work that you do. And we also love our live chat room and what we call our live audience. So thank you for.
Oh, we like
showing
some
up.
of them.
Well,
Yeah,
most of them. I mean, some of them are a little questionable, but for the most part. So you should check it out sometime and join this live recording, because I think you'll have a lot of fun. And great to see you, Steph. I know you're busy working, and it's hard to get you in with us with this crazy schedule. And same thing with Alpha Juliet and his busy work schedule. But we're doing the best we can here, and to provide you with as much variety as possible. And I guess with that, we're going to go ahead and end the show by saying, wishing you all clear skies, unlimited visibility, and tailwinds. Talons, Douglas.
Cheers, y'all.
Ta-ta for now.
You're welcome.
See you next time.
Yeah, he's up in the sky. It's the airline pilot guy.
Good day.
used to be such a good pilot till I started APG. I opened doors for little old ladies, I helped them to their seats. Airline pilot guy, I fly America. Oh, airline pilot guy, he can land in heavy fog. I got no friends cause I'm always flying, I just don't have the time. But I can land this old plane, I can land it just fine. Airline pilot guy, I fly America. Oh, airline